Hello, friends. You're listening to Profoundish. On this episode, we are talking parties. What makes a good one? Which ones have we been to? And then later on in our games segment, we're playing a little game called Never Have I Ever, where we compete, kind of, to see who's done more things than the other. Just tune in. It's going to be great. You're listening to Profoundish.
Take it away, Billy.
I'm not Billy. You're Billy.
Oh, I am Billy. In our Profoundish lore.
Yeah, did we ever get you back to Alex, or are you still Billy?
I don't know, actually.
Hello, everybody, and welcome
Hello.
to Profoundish. I'm joined by Billy.
Hey, you can call me Billy or Alex.
I think we're
Whatever
gonna
you
call you. I think we're gonna call you Alex, in case this is the first episode someone's coming in on, and they're like, "Who's Billy?"
I don't know if you remember this, but we had a joke that we wanted to put in like an old video that we were gonna make. We've talked about our old videos a few times before, and it was gonna be like some guy, and say the name was like, "Hey, like the name's Ralph," and then like, "Hey, good to meet you, Ralph." It's like, "Please call me Sal." Do you remember that? Like just a completely different name.
I don't really remember that at all. What was the context? That was just it?
I don't think there was a context. We just had this funny idea for our characters, like, "Hey, I'm Steve. Hey, Steve, good to meet you. Please call me Bob." Just like, what? And at the time, maybe I just found it funny, and you're like, "Yep, okay."
Well, it clearly
We'll see
stuck
if we
with
do
you
that.
more, since you do the, no, call me Billy.
Please call me Billy. Yeah, I guess I've carried it along with me all these years.
I don't carry anything along with me. Nothing remains trapped in my head anymore. It's in one ear and out the other, and it's gone.
Oh, well, it's bad. I mean, I had to ask you what day it was today, and you knew what day it was.
I did, but I thought you were setting me up for a punchline.
Yeah, I was like, I guess it might have been my my inflection. Maybe I was like, "Do you know what day it is?"
Alex is
But
just
I was
checking in on me, trying to be like legitimately concerned for my mental state right now, because I can't keep track of anything right now. Like, I don't know what day it is. And Alex like, "Do you know what day it is?" I'm like, "What day is it, Alex?" I'm waiting for him to tell me a joke, and he's like, "No, do you know?"
I was literally being a good friend.
I'm like, "Oh."
And then this wacko's thinking I'm making a joke. It's like, no, like, listen, you have a problem. You need a calendar.
I do have a calendar.
It just doesn't
It's
help.
it's my Google Calendar. It's on my phone. And when I open my phone and I open up the lock, I'm on a browser right now. My first page is my Google Calendar, and it tells me the month and the day and the date.
You know what was really nice?
Someone just texted
over the holidays.
me hi. What the frick? I'm holding my phone. I got a text message that says hi. Random
sorry, that
phone
was
number.
me.
Just random phone number.
Oh,
Sorry.
really?
Yeah, just some random number. I don't know who it is. That was just so weird that I picked up the phone and hi. My phone is talking to me.
Well, okay, hold on. Live on the pod, you should respond.
I don't think I want to do that.
Okay, you don't have to.
That's not.
I don't want to get into it.
I'm gonna delete it. The last time I got into a conversation with like a quote unquote wrong number, it just turned out to be a scam.
Oh, that's right. You and I talked about that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say a second ago was with time, and then you brought me on to another thing with random numbers here. But I was staying at my parents' house over the holidays for a couple nights, and I remember in their guest room, they have like one of those digital alarm clocks, but it has like a mirror thing, so it projects onto the ceiling.
Oh.
So it was actually talk about remembering what time it is. Like anytime you wake up, you see what time it is. It has like I think it had the date too. I think smaller beneath it, and just project it right up there. So every morning you wake up, you have to see it. It's in the ceiling directly above you, big red letters.
Hey, now
Maybe you
that
should get
sounds.
something like that.
No, see, listen, that sounds highly privileged, Alex. Some of us don't have eyesight.
Okay, fair.
I wake up and I can't see jack.
If you take off your glasses, is it really blurry?
Oh yeah, I can't
Like, is
see
it
anything.
You really can't.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you could not
I'm
read
darn near
a piece of
blind.
paper like with like 14 font.
14?
Or
Oh,
could you?
absolutely not. I mean, it has to be like stupid close to my face. I've got a receipt right now. Hang on. That's probably like 16 or 18 font. But I'm taking my glasses off. I'm looking at 18 font. I can read it. I'm using the, like, you know how you can use your thumb to like measure about an inch, right? I can read it when it's about 3 inches close to my face.
Oh my gosh.
If I go beyond that, it's illegible. It literally just looks like, I don't know, wingdings or something. I can't make out. I can make out that I'm like, it should be words, but I have no idea how many letters are in each word. Like, no idea, because they all just blur together. You know what I mean?
Sound fun. But that's why you have glasses.
That is why I have glasses. But that's why an alarm clock displaying the time on the ceiling would be of very little help to me.
You'd wake up just thinking there's blood smeared on the ceiling. Like, what's going on?
The blood will be oozing from the ceiling.
Right. Like, was I a part of a crime scene when I was asleep? What's going on here?
Oh, that's actually a very likely possibility. I think I do crime fighting in my sleep.
You sleepwalk?
I definitely used to. I don't think I do anymore, but I mean, if I'm not awake when I'm doing it, so I don't know. Maybe I do.
That stuff freaks me out. I'm not one of those people, but Stephanie is. For those of you who maybe just tuned in, Stephanie's my significant other. She will talk and have conversations like with me, or not with me. I mean, I'd have to be awake, but like it'll wake me up because I'm a light sleeper. So and it'll just be about like work or something. But I remember one time we were staying at her grandma's house, and I won't ever forget this. I woke up to the sound of, at first I thought it was shrieking, like scary Bloody Mary shrieking. But then after like 5 or 6 seconds, I realized it was just ridiculously hysterical laughter. But I'm talking like, I'm gonna like my lungs are gonna fall out of my body. I'm laughing so hard. Okay. I mean, it was Steph laughing in her sleep. And I'm like, Steph, are you okay? Because I didn't have time to react and realize that it was laughter and not screaming. And then she wakes up and goes, what? I had no idea. That scared the living daylights out of me. Because like, I've never heard that girl laugh like that.
It must have been pretty funny, whatever it was she was listening to in her head.
I don't. It was weird. And then I opened up a door because I said, I've never heard you laugh like that. And she replied, well, that's because you're not that funny. I said, well, that's a good point.
You're just not as funny as the voices in my head while I'm asleep.
Yeah, she's
Get on
crazy,
their level.
Love her. Yeah, get on all their levels. All 16 of them. Go.
I guess, obviously, I would have been asleep for this. What my mom tells me from when I was a kid, my brother and I would sleep talk together. I think I was the more egregious sleepwalker and talker, but my brother and I would sometimes sleep talk to each other. It'd be nonsense. I don't know what about, because I wasn't awake, obviously, but it'd be nonsense, and then we'd go to sleep or whatever. But yeah, for sure.
I just picture plotting and planning, like you're planning your escape or something.
Of course. It's only a matter of time now.
Because I really do see you two doing that. Even as like children, like while you're asleep and your mom just walks in and she's horrified, like, who have I created? What have I done?
What have I brought into this world?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if
like, honey, you might want to put these kids up for adoption.
Maybe. I don't know if I sleep talk anymore or not. I've caught myself like having like some sort of like night terror or something, that I'm reacting to some kind of nightmare or something in my sleep, and I'll like come to, I'll be awake, but I've already been I'm up in my room moving around. I've mentioned several times before at other places. One of the more recent ones, I got into a fight with my lamp in my sleep, and I woke up like basically like strangling my lamp because I thought it was someone attacking me. I guess, I don't know. But I woke up that way and really messed up the lamp.
That is funny. For a while, there was this, I never followed her, but there was this girl that would pop up on my TikTok feed, and she would like, she posted clips of like her like security camera footage because she would sleepwalk, and the things that she would do would be so funny. Like, I can't really explain anything, but I just know for a while my TikTok was all about like sleepwalking people, and it was funny. Like all these things, like she would like walk up to like a coat rack, shake it, like let one rip, and then just walk back to her bedroom. You know what I mean? Like some super random stuff that is just super funny. But then I thought, God, if I were like her husband or just in the house, I'd hearing these weird noises out in the living room. I don't know.
This has to be why people believed in like demonic possessions, like in like much earlier times, right? Like, I'm not a big proponent of believing that Satan has any time on his hands to like come up to earth and be like, I'm going to just randomly possess people. I don't believe in that. Maybe people do. But I do absolutely believe in sleepwalking people doing demonic things in their sleep. I believe that.
Yeah, it's horrifying. It is.
There used to be some... Oh, no, go on. You got a story.
No, please, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that there was this viral lady talking about people like TikToks and stuff. I don't think this was on TikTok. I think this was before that, but there was this viral lady for a while that what she did was sleep like 8. She would get up and eat things and like make food in her sleep. And she had the same thing. She had like a night cam set up to see what she was doing in her sleep because she would always be out of food every day because she would sleep eat.
Oh, okay, interesting. I thought that was going slightly different direction. Like I thought it was going to be, she stands on the scale every morning and she realizing that she's gaining all this weight and she doesn't know why. She's like, I eat like a normal amount. Turns out she's eating all this food. Like, that would freak me out. Like, why am I gaining weight? Like, what's going on?
That might have been a part of the story as well. I don't remember if that was her or maybe someone else. I think there was a thing where she was trying to eat less, but she was always mysteriously low on food and obviously not losing weight because she was still eating it all. So that might have been a part of the story. I don't remember. But she kind of, made the most of it by, putting up these cameras and making videos and kind of like turned it into a thing.
Right. Hey, you can make a content.
It's like, yeah, you can't. At least not that I know of, without like literally strapping yourself into bed every night. I don't know what you do to prevent yourself from sleepwalking and talking. You're not awake. You're not in control.
Right. I don't know. I don't know if it has to do with. I know you can only sleepwalk at I don't even know what stage, but a particular stage of your sleep cycle, right? I don't know if there's a way to regulate that or not. I really don't know. I'd be curious because I call myself. I'm a self-proclaimed dream freak. So I like to learn about people's dreams. That just interests me. I think dreams are your brain's way of figuring things out in your head. That's how I see them, at least. So I just like hearing people's dreams. And so Stephanie dreams every night, and she remembers every single dream she has. I'm not kidding. Multiple dreams per night she remembers. And it's incredible because most of us don't remember what we dream about. We might remember one or two here and there. But yeah, every single one. So every morning she'll have a story to tell about a dream she had. And I think she thinks it's kind of weird that I always ask, but I'm just curious.
Well, it's like what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's so common to make fun of people that talk about their dreams that no one wants to listen to you talk about your dream. Like, that's a common thing people say. It's like, no one wants to listen to you talk about your dream. So you're like, I know, it's like,
come talk to me. I will listen. I love it. Anybody. Because to me, what I'll do in my head, and I know that, listen, I'm by no means a psychologist, or I don't even know about the psychology of dreams or anything like that. All I know is that in my head, I'll go, okay, I'll listen to it and I'll go, I wonder what this could mean. Maybe they're dealing, and then I'll just have my own diagnosis in my head, and I love it. And I just keep it to myself, because it very well could be extremely wrong. It could literally just be a dream about nothing, and that's fine. But in my head, that's where I get the satisfaction of like learning about it, thinking about maybe they're anxious about this, and that's why they're dreaming about this or whatever. So I love it. I don't know. So anyway, if you're telling your family or friends about dreams and they don't care anymore, just message me. You can message me. You can email me. Alex DuquetteMusic@gmail.com if you'd like. Anywhere else, Alex Duquette, follow me while you're there.
Maybe
tell me your dreams.
Maybe tweet at them instead. Turn this into like a Twitter thing. People can tweet you their dreams, and you can like live on Twitter, like break it down. I want to see you break down other people's dreams.
Honestly, that would be fun. That would give me a reason to open up Twitter again. Like, I would do that. Okay, at AP Duquette. I'll hop on Twitter more often if you guys tell me about a dream you had, and I'll give you my diagnosis of it without any professional training. I would love to do that. So at AP Duquette, thank you. And then also while you're there, at Profoundish.
Profoundish Pod. Yeah.
Profoundish Pod.
At Profoundish Pod. We post.
Well, that was a tangent.
Yeah, this has been a lot of tangents. So, Alex, welcome to Profoundish. I'm Weston Hasty. I'm joined by Alex Duquette. Today's episode is about parties.
Oh, okay. Parties.
Now that we're
Parties fun.
now that we're like a quarter of the way through our episode, the actual topic is parties.
Well, honestly, having half the amount of time in this first segment might actually be just fine because, depending on what you define as a party, I don't have much experience with parties.
You know, honestly, me neither. So this is perfect.
You know, because exactly. So this is wonderful. So, as most of you know, Weston and I spent a lot of our, we became good friends in our kind of early teen years and have been friends since. And my version, at least. Because, so in high school, right, in those days, there were high school kids going to parties, like actual parties. Some would go to college parties, and that was a big deal because you're at a college party, And when I picture a party, especially at that age, which I think you still would now, it's, there's alcohol, and it gets wild, and how the heck did that vacuum cleaner get up on the table? I don't know. Just the crazy stuff, right? It's crazy. And my version of I got just as much fun out of a party when it was just 5 or 6 of us just hanging out and playing games and laughing. And then later the booze came too. But you know what I mean? And I don't even think that's considered a party, right? That's just considered a get together.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm like, that's more like a get together.
But that's what's fun to me.
You know what I'm kind of wondering is a get together like a common thing? Like are get-togethers I'm just thinking from my point of view, is that a Midwestern thing or does everybody have quote unquote get-togethers? Is that a normal thing?
Well, as someone who's moved, I know in the South that's also a thing. So I don't think it's just a Midwest thing. I do think that maybe in our particular area, maybe for us that was just kind of our thing because I don't know, because I feel like there weren't really any other groups, not that I kept up with them, but doing what we were doing, which was literally just we used to get together every week and we would have a get together, and we'd play games and hang out and stuff, and that was during high school and after. So I don't know, I really don't know. So have you ever been to? It's going to be hard to, I guess, ask it because, how do you what's that actually mean? But have you ever been to what you would consider to be a party? And I don't mean a family party. Those are kind of different. That's a different. A lot of family get-togethers could be considered parties. I think when there's a lot of people. I
think for me, the difference between a get-together and a party is kind of the this is going to sound silly, the orchestration of it. A party, I feel is more orchestrated. You put together the entertainment, the music, the guest list, and that. A party feels like it's more put together, whereas a get together is more casual. You just kind of message a bunch of people, hey, let's hang out, basically, and you show up, and oh yeah, we'll order a pizza and we'll turn on some music. But we didn't orchestrate it. We didn't coordinate it so much. I feel like a party is more coordinated. So family. I was waiting for you to go on. Oh, no,
I was too. Go ahead.
I was waiting for you to compliment me. You were about to say, that's a good way to put it. I was waiting.
I know. Get over yourself. I won't a second. Finish your thought.
No, I've forgotten what my thought even was. But I think that's what it was. The family parties, I think definitely count as parties. But everyone has family parties. Since you were a kid, you've probably had birthday parties. Those are definitely orchestrated. Family shows up. It's a whole thing. But I have been to.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I was just going to say really quick, when you brought up the birthday party, that's true. Because what I was going to say was, I think another factor or one thing that makes a party different than a get together too is in most cases in parties, the numbers are usually larger and of people, and also the odds of meeting somebody you don't know is much greater at a party. Other than birthday parties.
Yeah.
Because a party is more of okay, bring your plus ones, right? So that already brings in a factor of not everyone knows everybody. And then maybe even like the host themselves has friends that doesn't have mutual friends with other people and everything like that. That, I think, is a big part of it too. A get-together, it's rare. It's possible. A friend might bring another friend over. We had that happen a few times. But
Sure.
usually it's your circle, right? You're already have an established relationship with one another. And it's, at least from my experience.
Yeah, I was in preparation of this episode, which not that I was doing a lot of prep, but I was just kind of like Googling elements of a good party, just because I was curious to see what would come up. And one of the websites, I don't remember what it was, listed like 10 elements of a good party, and on their like guest list section, that was one of the things that they encouraged is consider who you're inviting. Don't just invite everyone you know. Like, curate like a list of people and try to mix up who they are. And it was like, bring in introverts and extroverts. Bring in people that like you think this person would get along with this person, but you know they haven't met yet, and that kind of thing. You know, like pick and choose your guests to make a more interesting social like environment, as opposed to just flat out, well, I know 20 people, I'll invite all of them. You know what I mean?
Well, I think not much bad can come from meeting somebody new. You know, I think that's great in a lot of ways.
No,
I was gonna say, what made you say that? Hold on.
You're like, nothing bad could come from meeting someone you don't know. I'm like, well,
okay, well, you know what I mean. Come on. Well, yeah, they could be a murderer. I mean, yeah, we have. There are ways, but I just mean in general, like as someone who identifies as an introvert, you know, it can be tough to meet new people, but then when you do, you usually kind of feel good that you bit the bullet and you started that conversation with somebody. And even if they don't become a good friend, like, you know, that's something that you wouldn't have gotten that kind of feeling if it was just a get-together. But I haven't complimented you yet. I do want to say, yes, the orchestration is a very good point, and it's a very good way to word it.
We didn't have to go back to that. It's okay.
Oh, hey, but can you please admit that it made you feel a little good?
Oh, yeah, I love compliments. I love being buttered up. I'm very egotistical. I want to hear nice things about me. Especially if I hear about two other people have been talking good things about me and I'm not there to hear it. But then I find out later and I'm like, oh, they were talking about me? Ooh.
That is really nice.
I'm like over here like twirling my hair and blushing. Like, oh, they're talking about me?
You know, that's one thing. That's one thing that I, as an artist, like a musical artist in particular, I think is interesting is that I have a lot of musical friends who still they've been doing it for a long time and they still kind of struggle with compliments. Like, I've got a really close musician friend of mine that I play with here in Memphis, and he'll play and he did a really great job, and he'll go, God, I screwed this up and I screwed that up. And he doesn't just say that to me as a musician friend. He'll say it to everybody. And then everybody else goes, no, it was great. What are you talking about? Now, some people do that maybe because they're fishing for compliments, right? I know this guy very well. He's not fishing for any compliments. I just think he struggles because when people compliment him, he'll always find a way to like downplay it. It's like, no, like you're good, right? Like I always tell other musician friends, really anyone who creates stuff, like I always say like, honestly, just you might sound like you're being conceited, but you're not if you just say, thank you, I appreciate you coming and listening. Like, there's nothing wrong at all with that. In fact, I think it's way better than, like, downplaying yourself or insulting yourself. You know, just say, thank you, I appreciate that. That's all. You don't have to go. It'd be different if you went, thanks, you know, I know that I'm really good. I am glad that other people notice. You know what I mean? Like, that's different.
That's the confidence I try to exude with people I know. Thanks, I know I'm great.
Hey, that's the key. If you can exude that without saying it.
But at the same time, if I'm around people that I don't know so well, I actually don't usually approach it with that level of confidence.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, I'm guilty of this when we were having that get together / party when I was at your place in Tennessee when I made my trip down there, and you had a couple of your friends over, and we were playing. What were we playing? It was like it wasn't like Cards Against Humanity, was it? It was something like that though, right? Some card game or something.
Was that when we were playing Snake Oil?
Maybe it was Snake.
Were you playing Snake Oil?
Did we
night?
play? I don't think we got to play Snake Oil. You were trying to get everyone to play Snake Oil. Did we play it or
but
not?
Nobody wanted to.
Well, we
no,
were playing...
because Yeah.
We were playing some game where, you try to combine things and make a funny phrase or whatever the heck we were doing. And, one person's like a judge and everyone puts in their thing and you have to win cards and you win. It's like a Cards Against Humanity type thing. I don't think that's what it was, but something like it. And I wasn't doing very well. And I kept going on about like how I'm not so funny or whatever. And all the while I've been cracking jokes or whatever all night, and people are like, "No, you are funny. Oh no, you're funny or whatever." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not funny." And I didn't know, like it was the opposite. Normally with people I know, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm the greatest thing to happen to Earth." But when it's people I don't know, I downplay myself, and I don't know if that's like my subconscious saying, well, if I downplay myself when I'm making people laugh, that will get people to compliment me. And I'm like, am I actually fishing for compliments, like subconsciously?
Maybe it's because, and I don't think that's what it is. It's funny because, I know you so well, and even Steph does at this point, because it's funny that you brought that up, because we talked about it later thinking, for the record, this wasn't like a 20-minute conversation, but it was brought up briefly, and it was like, he was really downplaying him, like, he's funny. Like, why was he saying that?
Yeah.
And then, but it makes sense, because you were around at least 2 strangers, and there was only 2 other people that you did know, so it's like 50-50 strangers.
Yeah,
or people you just met that night.
That's something that I haven't really, like, articulated to myself, but, like, I've always known it to be true. When I'm around strangers, and especially the more of them there are, the worse I like get. Like I'm introverted too. You mentioned you were an introvert. I'm introverted too. Around just a very few people, I can be a very extroverted introvert. I can be very communicative. I can hang in there. I can like converse, blah, blah, blah. But the bigger the crowd gets, like the more I shrink into like my shell, and I have to like find someone I know, and I'm just gonna loiter around them. I'm gonna shadow the person I know.
I get it.
The entire time. Like, please save me from the crowd.
So has that happened at an actual, what you would consider to be a non-family, non-birthday party?
Yes. I have been to at least one party that is jumping to my mind right now anyway. It was a Halloween party, and I was invited to it. And it was some friends of mine that I'd met in college, in school. And I got invited to this Halloween party, and I knew all of like 2 people that were going to be there. It was this girl. It was her apartment that we were having this at. So I knew her. I knew the hostess. And technically I knew her boyfriend, just not very well. I knew him through her. And then I knew like one other guy that was going to be there for sure. It's like 2 people, and that's it. And I go to this party. Well, and the guy, like I don't remember now. He either didn't show up or he showed up late and he didn't stick around too long. So I was mostly like trying to like loiter around the hostess, and she's obviously trying to like go and talk to everybody else at her party, right? So I'm like, I feel like a lost dog in this party setting. There's a lot of people that they didn't all show up at once, and people kind of came and went because it was a Halloween party. People had other parties. It was a whole thing. And there was like drinking games. There was for sure the one that I remember. There was like drinking Jenga or something. And I don't lose Jenga. But
right, absolutely.
There was that.
We played that when you came down too. We
played the Jackbox stuff, party pack, whatever. And I don't remember what all we did, but it was a party, and there was quite a few people coming and going. And I don't remember what I was dressed as. I think I literally wore like my Hawaiian shirt or something like that and called it a costume. I don't remember what I wore.
So what was roughly, if you were to give me like an estimate on the number of people there?
Oh, that came and went. Pretty consistent.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, because that was the thing. People came and went. I think pretty consistently there was at least a dozen-ish people there at any given time, and at one point there was more. Okay. So like a dozen-ish to like maybe at its apex it was in the mid-20s. Like maybe it had twice the number for a little while.
Okay,
maybe
that's another factor too, is the coming and going part. It's like, hey, the party starts at 8, and then but what that means is some people are there at 8, other people aren't showing up till 10. They'll stay for 30 minutes and leave. Other people stay the whole time. There's a lot of in and out factor that you don't get at a get together.
Yeah,
that's another thing
for sure.
So that's pretty good. Now that's the thing, is that you said there's alcohol. That's one part of you're kind of loitering around the host, which trust me, if I were in that boat and I only knew them two, I would, believe it or not, people don't think that I would, but I would be in a similar situation. It's tough for me to move on from that, but that's why they call it liquid courage, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah.
Does that help you in a situation like that?
Well, it does.
Or do you just close in?
You get a little inebriated. It lowers your inhibitions. Everyone knows drinking alcohol lowers your inhibitions. And before going and drinking at a party, you should probably know how you're going to handle your alcohol. Luckily, I know I'm a fun drunk, so like I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know, some people get angry or mean or whatever. So I knew, like, after a few drinks or whatever, I was opening up a little bit. I was kind of like mingling, but it was mostly just,
that helps
for the most part, because I'm still introverted. I was just kind of like the weirdo, kind of like listening into people's conversations more than I was like partaking, because it was still a really big crowd.
Right. I have multiple experiences in my life going to, I still consider them get-togethers, but they're kind of bigger, like maybe there'd be 8 to 10 people, but everybody knows everybody, and it's still like, everybody get here at this time, there's no in and outs, it's really casual, we'll play games, we'll just kind of talk, whatever, or I would meet people, right? That happened a lot when I first moved here. Like, that would happen from time to time, but it's still a get-together, but I can only think of one time. This was had to have been freshman year, I guess, of college. A friend and I were invited to our only, like... well, I was invited to more than one, but not many. Don't get me wrong. But we were invited to this one, and we actually were invited to this party. And it was just a normal college party. Like, picture your traditional college party. It was in someone's, like... It wasn't in, like, a dorm, but it was, like, in, like, a townhouse near campus. And, but it looked like it was going to be, like, a legitimate, you know, there's going to be a lot of drinking. It's going to be kind of wild. Kind of, that seemed to be, no one said that out loud, but I've never been to one before, and my friend hasn't either. And by the way, you know this friend. But we both thought, we've been invited, and we were invited by somebody that we went to high school with, who also went to the same college we did. And she was a grade or two older than us, and I was okay friends with her. So I was like, okay, well, we'll go. And she was friends with some other friends that we knew. You know, we come from a small town, so we knew at least a handful of people there.
Right.
But not well enough to, like, have a get-together, if that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't have a get-together with these people, right? I would go to a party that they're in, but that's different.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, you know, it's not as personal. It doesn't, or at least doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I never thought about how... I didn't think we were going to talk about, like, the weird difference between a get-together and a party. But yeah, a get-together is more intimate with friends that you know closely. But a party, yeah, it's that... You can have acquaintances or friends that you kind of know, but not. It lacks that level of intimacy that a get-together has.
Which I think is one reason why... Maybe it's also because we're all introverts, but that's why you and I are more drawn to the get-togethers, I guess. But
oh, for sure.
But... The one time we went to that party, we went there, and we were nervous. I won't ever forget. This might have been a Halloween party, too, now that I think about it. It was, because I just remembered this. I was Finn. This might give it away, too. And he was Jake.
Okay.
This was back when Adventure Time was, like, at its, like, peak for, like, young adults. Like,
right. This
era.
is, like, early the 2010s, 2012 or 13
yeah,
or 14.
It was like 2011. Exactly. And I remember that. And we were, like, loosely dressed up and stuff. But the only reason why we didn't stay there long, and that was because 1 hour into it, maybe an hour and a half or so, we weren't mingling much. It was kind of, I don't know, it was tough. It was tough. We're both kind of introverts. Similar situation. The girl she was co-hosting the party with her roommates.
Right.
And... You know, and it's just like, I didn't want to talk to them. They're busy. They're talking to people I don't know. And after about an hour and a half, the cops got called.
Oh. I think I heard about this, actually. This sounds familiar now, maybe.
Like, the whole party experience happened. There was nobody there that was, like, underage that I know of. Maybe there was.
It was just a noise complaint, wasn't it?
It was a noise complaint. There were... Actually, you know what? There were some underage kids, because some kids went running.
I think I heard about that. Yeah, this sounds familiar. I think I did hear about this a long time ago.
I probably did tell you about this, because there was a kid who... This is the part I was going to... I forgot about this. There was a kid that jumped off the balcony.
Holy crap.
I remember that. And I remember, like, he hurt himself, but he could keep moving. But I remember thinking, oh my God. Like, because I remember, like, I'll never forget that he literally jumped, like, he, like, kind of climbed down, then he kind of hopped down. So it wasn't, like, that tall, but he still climbed down and hopped off of a balcony because the cop showed up. So he had to have been underage. Why else would he have done that? Like, I didn't know who he was. And it was on the edge of town, so there was just trees. So he just ran into the tree. So hopefully he made it out.
I absolutely remember that story now. Yeah, jumped off and ran into the forest or whatever.
Yep. That's the part that we always told because we thought that was wild. So we thought, you know what? This isn't really our scene. Let's go. So literally, the one party that you would consider like a traditional party. The cops got called. It's like, yeah, this isn't for us.
Yeah, I don't want to be guilty by any kind of association. But then again, it's not like you knew whoever the heck that was. You didn't know they were underage or whatever. It's just some person you didn't know.
Right. I mean, that kid could have broken his leg or something. Like,
coulda.
I don't know. But
maybe he did, actually. Maybe he fractured his leg. Did you ever see him again?
I never saw him again. I don't know.
Maybe he ran into trees and never came out.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, well, I didn't know we would kind of split up the difference between a get-together and a party, but it's kind of cool that we did. I mean, get-togethers are where it's at, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, get-together or party, one of the things everyone likes to do at a party is play games. And I have a very common party game for you coming up after this break.
Oh, I can't wait!
Profoundish is brought to you in part by HastilyMadeDecision.com. Get your poetry fix from my poetry blog featuring haiku, senryu, freeform stuff, and more. Again, that's HastilyMadeDecision.com for your poetry fix.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by my music. I'm a singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. Most of my songs tell stories, some real, some not, but all of them speak to an experience that we all share, the human condition. Search my name, Alex Duquette, on any streaming platform. Thanks for listening.
Have you never evered?
Have I never evered?
Have you never evered? You're about to never
played
ever.
The game like Never Have I Ever?
You have. You have absolutely.
Yes.
So here's what we've got, Alex. Welcome back from the break.
I didn't know if we were back at the break or not. I didn't know if you were just talking to me.
you put... Oh, no, I'm just... Do what you want. I'm coming down slowly. For everyone listening to the podcast, I already told Alex this. I've got this like horrible stomach ache right now from something I drank that I'm pretty sure was well expired. Like well expired. I'm coming down from it. I'm slowly entering the relief stage, but now I'm just like exhausted from the internal strife.
And by like day, did he? We're talking months here. I don't know if
you're
that's true.
Literally not. You're not.
Oh my God! Read the labels, man.
Well, see, the thing is it did. So it said it expired. Like it was like best by February 2023, but I think that's like before it's been opened. You know what I mean? Like once you open it, it doesn't last that long. You know?
Right.
So it's been sitting for a while, and I drank it, and I think I'm I think I'm fighting it. But anyway, we're coming down from the pain. One of the things that you do at parties. Now, here's the conceit here. We didn't really get to all of my conversation I thought I would get to at the beginning section, which is totally fine. But my conceit here was that I was going to try to bring us around to New Year's parties because it's the new year.
Right.
That was the conceit. I kind of missed the boat on that one. But this is a game that you can play at any kind of party. And the reason I'm bringing it up here is because when I was doing my research for this episode, trying to figure out what I wanted to do for the game or the topic or whatever, I Googled something. It was something like games to play at a New Year's party or something like that. And for whatever reason, this one came up from... I've got from OprahDaily.com. So thanks, Oprah, for this one.
Thanks, Oprah.
Thanks, Oprah. A list of, quote-unquote, the 100 best never have I ever questions to spice up game night.
Oh.
And so
boy.
I thought it would be funny to, like, if Alex and I prepared some never have I evers or whatever to each other. But I decided, let's use Oprah's list. They're the 100 best after all. So
Oprah's she's Oprah. What else can I say?
She's Oprah. So what I think what we're going to do for this game, the rules go like this. For those of you that haven't ever played, that are listening, Never Have I Ever starts with you holding out a hand. Usually this game includes like 3, 4, 5 players, but you can do 2 players. It kind of makes it more one-on-one that way. But it's usually if you're coming up with the questions yourself, if you're doing one-on-one, it's a lot easier to try to like, get the other player to lose because you might know that person better. So it's more fun when there's a bigger crowd. But because this is not a list of our questions, this is a list of Oprah's questions, I thought that would even the playing field a little bit since we're just playing 2-player.
Okay.
And I figured since it's just the 2 of us, we'll start with 2 hands. So we'll have 10 fingers. And the idea is normally you'll be sitting like so you can see each other. And one person will say, never have I ever something, something that I've never done. And if someone's done that thing, they put their finger down. And then whoever's still got fingers up by the end of it wins. So since we're playing 2-player, between Alex and I, whoever's got whoever loses all their fingers first loses and the other player wins. Since I'm just reading questions from this list. And we'll have 10 fingers, so we got 10 shots to have done something before we lose. Mm-hmm. Does that sound like it makes sense?
To me, it certainly does. Are you asking the audience?
Yeah, I'll wait patiently for the audience to nod their heads in agreement.
It's like those old kids shows. You know what I mean? Like Blue's Clues where he talks like directly to the camera.
Yeah. Do you see the clue? I'm trying. That was really good.
Thank you.
That sounded exactly like Blue to me.
I'm going to drop it, not do it again, because if I did it a second time, which I wanted to do, to get another compliment, it's not going to be as good. So I'm just going to drop it.
The one thing I haven't prepared is how shall we raise these stakes? What happens to the loser? Or should something happen to the winner? Yeah.
I think...
Like maybe it should be a tweet. We talked about Twitter. What if like the loser has to like tweet something like nice about the other person or yeah.
The loser has to tweet a nice haiku about the winner.
Perfect. Let's do it. Okay, I like it. Let's do that.
Has to be compliments or something nice about. Yeah, I like that.
All right. With that in agreement, it's quite possible that when I read these, if neither of us have never done the thing that comes up, then obviously neither one of us is going to lose a finger. And if one of us has done the thing that comes up, if there's a story behind it, we can go behind it. I haven't read these before, and there's 100 of them, so I doubt we're going to get through all 100. So depending on how far we get, maybe there'll be a part 2 of this in the future. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
This is exciting, actually.
I didn't know if this would be a good idea or not, but let's see. Let's go for it. 10 fingers are up. Question number 1. Never have I ever played hooky from school or work.
I guess I'd have to tell you. I've got a finger going down.
I've got a finger going down. I have absolutely played hooky from school. I've never skipped work, like playing hooky. I've been like sick before, but I've absolutely skipped school before because I just could not be bothered for one reason or another. So
I will say, let me ask then, do you mean college or do you mean like elementary / high school? What did you reference?
Primary and secondary school, I was a lot better about going to school because, my parents are around. There was no way I was going to just not go unless I was sick or had an appointment. But in college, I've not gone to class before for a couple of reasons. I remember one, I woke up and I had fallen asleep with my glasses on, apparently. I woke up and couldn't find my glasses. And in a panic, I looked for them, couldn't find them, just went back to bed. Woke up, finally found my glasses, just didn't go to school that day. Just didn't do it. I started off the day not being able to find my glasses. I'm like, I'm not going. It's not happening today.
I know for me, I would find any I stubbed my toe. Nope, not going. Not going. My toe hurts. Nope. I didn't actually like in elementary school. My mom would give me like 1 or 2 like free passes a year. I'd just be like, Mom, seriously, like, love you, Mom. She probably doesn't want me saying this out loud because she actually worked for that school later. But,
well, she doesn't work there now.
Yeah, who cares, right? No, but it was just like but it was never just like Mom, I don't feel like going today. It was usually like maybe I was in a weird mood or maybe I wasn't feeling the best, but I would have been okay to go. It's like, okay, yeah, this can be your day. It wasn't like a common thing, but it was common enough to where like we had a system set up to where it's like, okay, is this you want to do it today? Is this the day you want to do it? And then we do it. So I love
how
that.
I like how she gave you that power in elementary school.
Yeah, we're talking like I'd say I think it started probably around third, fourth grade.
Okay, that's not. It still is hilarious to me, but I'm imagining like you're like in second grade, and your mom's like, "All right, you get 3 passes. If you just don't feel like it, we don't have to go to school." I mean, that's too much power for a kid.
I'd argue it still was at the age that I had it done at, but those are awesome days. Those were just like video game days. Felt like a snow day. It was great. Anyway,
it would. That would sound magical. All right, number 2.
9 fingers.
I'm at 9 as well. Never have I ever stolen anything. Yeah. I'm losing a finger to this one.
Okay, good. Yeah, I am too.
To be fair, the first time I ever stole something that I can recollect anyway, and I got in big trouble for it, I stole a piece of candy from the local grocery store. And I was so proud of it because I don't know why. I thought I was so clever. Like, look, I got away with this thing. Like, I literally bragged about it to my mom, and then I got in so much trouble. And I think we had to, like, I'm bragging to the wrong person. Like, why would she be proud of me being a thief or whatever?
Right.
So I got in big trouble for that. I don't remember what we did, if we paid for it, returned it, or I don't remember what happened. I just got in big trouble. That's like the first time I ever stole something. Beyond that, as an adult, I feel like I may have like swiped things that I wasn't supposed to keep, but I don't have any specific memories of that. But I feel like I probably have. I feel like there's always something. As an adult, you go to a function or something and you end up walking out with something you really shouldn't have. I feel like that probably happens.
Oh, I'm sure. A lot of people are just unaware. When I was a kid, I was too afraid to steal. Not that I even really thought about it, but so I just never did because I knew the trouble that I would get into. So I guess, good job, Mom, I guess. So I never stole anything until, regrettably now, honestly, I was my senior year of high school. I'm not going to specify what, but I stole from the school, actually.
I like how, because you're like, I'm not going to say what. Like, if it was like a stapler, you'd be like, I stole a stapler. But because you're like, I'm not going to say what, I'm like trying to imagine what really big thing are you still feeling guilty about all this time later?
Well, I only feel guilty about it because still I don't think anyone knows what happened. So I'll just, I'll tell you. Who cares, right? If somebody reaches out, they reach out, and I'll apologize.
I mean, you said this was like as a kid, right? Like, this is like 20 years ago.
No, I mean, this was senior year.
Oh, for some reason, maybe I'm still stuck on elementary school Alex with his little passes.
No, this is senior year.
Okay. That's still like 10 years ago.
For the record, I did have intentions of bringing it back, but I never did. And I did borrow it without permission too, but it was an amplifier from the band room. Guitar amp. Actually, it was a bass amp technically. And then also drum heads, which I had no intentions of bringing back. So take that as you will. But yeah, that was a full-on steal. The amp I was going to bring back, but that was so close to the end of high school. Then I graduated. Then it went to summer. I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be really weird if I bring it back now. So I just,
it'd be awkward if I did, and the longer you keep it, the more and more awkward it becomes before it's just yours.
Yeah. So anyway, that happened. Nobody used those amps, in all fairness. They were hardly used except for sometimes during like pet band.
They probably even needed a new one. So I mean,
yeah, I was doing them a favor. Like, listen, they need to tighten their security. You know what I mean?
I have a klepto friend. She'll want to steal things for no freaking reason at all. I was having lunch with her.
Oh wow,
this was forever ago, and we're like paying the bill or whatever, and getting ready to leave, and she's like, "I'm going to take this cup with me." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "I don't know, I just want it." I'm like, do you have cups at home? She's like, "Yeah." Like, you're not taking the cup with you, are you? And it's just, she's just a klepto, and she didn't take the cup because I got on her about it or whatever. Like, it's like, no, you're not just taking the cup. I mean, we're adults. If you need a cup, you can buy one.
Right, yeah.
But it wasn't
Wow.
about that. She's just literally a klepto.
See, that's different, yeah. Like, I needed that amp, and I did not have the money at the time to buy one. You know what I mean? Not that it's any better, but I didn't have just like this insatiable need to take something, you know.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm down to
8 fingers.
8 fingers.
Not
Never
a
have
finger.
Not a finger. So far, I've lost 2. We've gone through 2 questions. I've lost 2 fingers.
Uh-huh.
Number 3. Never have I ever missed a flight. I haven't. So, have you missed a flight?
I have never missed a flight, no.
Easy peasy. Number 4. Never have I ever drunk dialed my ex. I haven't done that.
I haven't either.
All right.
I got close once, but I never did.
I don't like. I haven't had enough relationships for that to even be close. You know what I mean?
Well, hold on. I get it. Really quick. What about texting?
It says
drunk dialed. So I'm good then.
I think you're good. Have you drunk
I've never
texted
called
your
anyone.
ex?
I was tipsy and I used it as an excuse. I wasn't even drunk. I was like, you know what? I've been drinking and I wanted a messenger at the time. It was a hard time.
we don't have to count that for our figures, but it is kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh goodness. It's like, I guess I'm drunk. I'm gonna text her.
I feel a little tipsy. This is the perfect excuse.
Exactly.
She can't judge me. I'm drunk.
That's right.
Never have I ever rode a motorcycle. I have not. Have you?
I think I was in a sidecar once. Does that count?
Maybe. I don't know. It says rode a motorcycle.
That's
a part of a
I rode a
motorcycle,
sidecar.
kinda. That's actually kind of cool, though. I think we have to count that.
Ah, dang it. Okay.
I think so. Right?
I think
is
that's
that
fair.
riding a
It is
motorcycle?
It is a common attachment to a motorcycle. So yeah.
Because it doesn't say you drove it, so you still rode it, kind of.
Right. I was very young. I remember that. It was fun.
I always thought riding in a sidecar would be like a lot of fun. What movie? You remember the Aristocats?
Of course I do.
It's the 2 dudes that are like supposed to be getting the cats back or whatever, and they like ride that on that motorcycle, and the one guy's in the sidecar. I always thought that would be so much fun.
That actually does. Yeah, I remember. Actually, yeah. God, I want to rewatch Aristocats. Actually, that was such a good movie.
I enjoyed that movie. This one,
One of the few Disney movies I loved.
This is, I think, one that we've both done, probably, but I can't remember what I lost on. Never have I ever lost a bet. I feel like I've lost a bet, but like what did I bet?
I'm just gonna put a finger down because I'm sure I have 2. I just can't recall any particular ones. I've never done any big bets, not big ones, but I've lost little ones for sure.
Do you remember? Didn't we have like a traveling dollar bill for a little while, where like if we could, we would bet $1 on something, and we had a dollar bill that would travel between people. Do you remember that? Or was that
sounds
just me,
that sounds
Justin? Because I feel like it was Justin's idea. It was like me, Justin, maybe Logan, and maybe you. Was it all 4 of us?
That sounds familiar, but I could just be making it up. I'm not sure. I usually have a pretty good memory, so that maybe I wasn't involved in that one.
I don't think I've lost any serious bets. Otherwise, I think it'd come to my mind. Just like silly things.
Same, yeah, but that counts.
This one, unless you're going to tell me about your crazy exotic life, never have I ever gotten lost alone in a foreign country. I don't think either of us have been in a foreign country. Have you been in a foreign country?
Not really, no.
Not really? What does that mean?
The closest thing is the Bahamas.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the closest thing.
Were you lost?
You said alone, so we were lost, but I was not alone.
Okay, fair enough.
I was with
fair
family, so it stays up.
Lost
No,
in the
you're gonna learn.
Bahamas.
Like, yeah, I got lost in Mexico once.
Well, I was like, I don't know. You've traveled around a bit, but I'm like, I don't know about outside the country. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you got some secrets. Maybe you're like, I got lost in Peru one summer looking for ancient Inca temples.
I mean, that sounds fun. No, I'd like to actually really get out of the country and check other places out, but I have not done that yet.
Never have I ever bribed someone. I don't know. Have I bribed someone before? I kind of don't think so.
I don't think I've ever have.
I don't think so either. It feels like
At least
something I've definitely
intentionally.
joked about doing, but I don't think I've ever done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I have either.
Never have I ever gone skinny dipping.
I have never done that.
I've never gone skinny dipping.
For some reason, I thought that was the one. That was the one you were going to say yes to for some reason.
I almost had an opportunity to skinny dip with a lot of people, actually. But it did not happen. I chickened out.
So they still did it?
To my knowledge, yes.
Oh,
this
man.
was
I
a
would've
group.
chickened out, too.
This was actually a group of us at that Halloween party I mentioned earlier, at like 1 a.m.
Full circle. I love it.
After we'd all been drinking, we were all going to get naked and jump in a lake. It was going to be probably fatal.
Yeah. It's probably for the better you didn't do it.
I was like, man, it's getting pretty late. I think I should bounce.
Oh, goodness.
So that was almost a yes
Next
for
time.
me. Never have I ever cheated on someone. I have not.
I have not.
Never have I ever sang karaoke. I've never sang real karaoke. Like at a karaoke bar. You know what I mean?
Have you sang into a karaoke machine?
I don't know for sure. Would you count? Oh, here's an interesting question. Would you count like playing Rock Band as karaoke? You know, it has like the microphone bit.
If people are listening.
There were people listening. I guess that kind of counts. I've kind of sang
think it
karaoke.
counts. Rock Band and Guitar Hero were basically like, especially Rock Band, if you were singing into the microphone, then yeah, that definitely is karaoke.
Okay, I'll count that. But I've never done like an actual like karaoke bar, I don't think.
I gotcha. I've only done that once. Maybe twice. I don't like karaoke. I'd rather actually sing. You know what I mean? Maybe that's not an unpopular thing for a musician to say.
You can sing just like for realsies at karaoke. You don't have to be terrible like me.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like you need to be terrible and you need to be drunk. That's what I feel like you need to be doing for karaoke for it to be successful.
Definitely a drinking activity. Otherwise, it's too awkward.
Right, exactly.
All right, so I guess I'm losing a finger on that one. I'm down to 6.
I got 5.
All right. Never have I ever... Oh, this is for you. Never have I ever broken a bone.
Okay, well, I broke it too.
Recently, even.
Yeah, not even that long ago. Actually, as of the recording of this, we're not too long after a year. Yeah, I won't go into the whole detail. I've actually already explained it before, even maybe on the pod, but I broke my leg and I broke my wrist in a mountain biking accident. And before you ask, no, it wasn't cool. It wasn't a cool accident. I just went down a steep hill and I hit a tree. It wasn't anything cool.
It still sounds epic. Like, I broke 2 bones in a mountain biking accident. You know, if you say it like that, people are like, oh my God, Alex is into... I don't know, extreme sports or something.
Yeah, but that was the thing. When I told everybody, including you, it's like, mountain biking, what? That's so out of character for me.
Yeah, that was... I mean, it was so bad for you, but it was, like, hilarious to hear. Because, like, you had, like, it was, like, a double take. Like, wait, Alex? Okay.
What? Exactly. Listen, there's a reason why I wasn't into any of that for so long, and now I know why. I didn't get into it. I only started mountain biking less than a year before that. So, like, if it was less than a year and I broke 2 bones, yeah, I dropped that one. I dropped that hobby like a bad habit.
This one...
So you haven't, right?
I've not broken anything, yeah. No breaks, no fractures that I know of. I've stubbed my toes before, but, I mean...
Oh, boy.
I've gotten stitches a couple of times. No broken bones, though. I've had my head ripped open. I like to say that. It's just my scalp. I got a cut on my scalp. I was very little. My dad accidentally lifting me up to like sit me down on a counter to help me with like my snow boots. It was like winter. Accidentally lifted me up, and there was like an open cabinet above the counter. He just slammed my head into the corner of a cabinet, and it busted my head open, and I had to get stitches.
That'll do it.
I handled it pretty well, apparently. I hardly remember it. I do remember it a little bit, but hardly, because it was an experience. Because we lived like half an hour from the hospital, so had to go through all that. And then the other time, I busted my hand open doing squats in the gym. Yeah, you heard that right. Busted my hand open doing squats. Yep, that's what happened.
Maybe we should get into that another time because that's interesting to me.
But no bones broken, just stitches.
Well, dang, you got me beat by 2 now.
I do. We're both about to lose a finger here. Never have I ever lived alone. I have lived alone, and I think you literally
live alone.
live alone.
Yeah, I do.
Never have. There's no story behind this. I lived alone for a little while when I was going to school in another city, and I lived on my own. You live alone now. I don't think there's really a story there.
Not much story, no.
Never have I ever been on a yacht. So I have to lose a finger for this one. I've been on a yacht.
What? You've been on a yacht?
Yes. Not a big one. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't even constitute a yacht. Where were we? It was my family. We were vacationing somewhere. There was a pier somewhere. I don't remember where we were at. And they were having like a boat show. So a bunch of people had their boats and maybe they aren't yachts. I don't remember what they're called, but they were like fancy boats, not just like little dinky boats that you'd fish out of or whatever, like nice boats. And we got to go on them and look at them because they were having like a show with a competition.
What? That's so cool.
Yeah. So it wasn't a big yacht. Maybe this shouldn't count. Maybe yachts are a different category, but kinda I have been.
That's so cool. See, there's such a particular stigma, or there's like an image that I think everybody has in their heads when they think of a yacht.
Right.
Like these super rich elite people got the just dancing and drinking champagne and whatever on a yacht. So I'm just picturing you and your family doing that.
And if my family hears this, they're probably going to be like, "Those were not yachts, Weston. You're a maniac." But I'm counting it. I'm counting it. They were nice boats.
It's a paddle boat.
I'm counting it. We literally had to use oars.
Right.
So I'm down to 4 fingers. Are you down to 3?
I'm down to 3.
All right. Never have I ever been on TV. I actually have been on TV. It was on the news, though.
Me too, for the same reason.
What is it for the same reason?
I'm saying
on news. Yeah,
on the news. It was. I can't remember. It was school related.
Yeah, some school function, and I just happened to be caught in the camera. So technically, I've been on TV. Nothing fancy though.
Yeah. Same here. It's the same kind of stuff.
Never have I ever been on a blind date. I almost was kind of on a blind date, but it didn't work that way. So, no, I have not been on a blind date.
What do you mean it didn't work that way?
I almost went on a date with someone I didn't know, and then that didn't happen. And then I got to know them, and it wasn't blind anymore.
Oh,
if that makes sense. It was almost a blind date.
I have never been on, to my knowledge, a blind date. I don't think I've been on a blind date, no. I've been on dates with people that I knew very little, but it wasn't a blind date.
Right. There's definitely a difference there.
Yeah, definitely.
Never have I ever lied to law enforcement. I don't think I've ever lied to law enforcement.
For me, when I get pulled over,
yeah,
or honesty has always worked for me.
I don't think I've ever lied. I've only ever been pulled over one time ever, and there was nothing to lie about. I was a speeding ticket. You know what I mean?
Louise. Okay, so for me, it's a little different. I've been pulled over numerous times.
Oh, okay.
I would say probably 6 to 8 times, maybe.
Oh,
and because I used to be a speed demon. I'm not anymore. My sister got in a bad car accident, and ever since then, it's kind of changed how I see driving. But but before then, I would. But I remember, every time I'd get pulled over it'd just be for speeding or whatever. And you may not remember this, but one time I had to go to traffic court because do you remember any of this? I had to pay a fine, and I was on what's it called? my
kind of
license could have
probation
been
of some
suspended at like a license probation thing for 6 months. If I would have gotten pulled over within 6 months, I'd lose my license for like a year.
Where was I? I actually don't remember you having that.
I didn't really vocalize it that much.
You were
'cause I wasn't
probably
proud of it.
embarrassed, yeah.
Yeah, I was going because it was considered reckless driving. I was going 90 in a 45.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
Yeah, it was. If you knew the stretch of road that it was on, like everybody zooms on it, like because nothing was there.
Yeah.
It was like a transition point from 45 to 55, but it was still 45.
Right.
And I was already speeding up, kind of going into. Anyway, long story. I was going fast.
Was this by any chance like where my hometown is? Was it there? At that one curve?
You're in there, not right there, but it's near that area.
I feel like I know what you're talking about. Still, you booked it up to 90.
Yeah, I was going pretty quick. Anyway, so I got pulled over. But anytime other than that, and that was ironically, I think not the last time I got pulled over, but the last time I ever went that fast. I've always learned that honesty is the best policy. Like when I got pulled over for speeding, I've rarely gotten tickets. I've always gotten warnings, other than that one time. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I knew how fast I was going. I was going about 15 over. I just was trying to get home. And for some reason, for me, it's always worked like, well, hey, just try and be careful. I appreciate you being honest. Just, slow down, right? So,
I don't think I've
lied.
A ticket. I've never gotten a warning.
Oh, the one time you got pulled over, you got the ticket.
Uh-huh.
That's funny.
I didn't
Here
lie.
I am.
I was just like, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well, it depends on the cop, too. Let's face it. It's true.
He was, this was around the holidays. He was being semi-nice, and he set the date for, like, the fine or whatever to, like, later, so it'd be, like, after the holidays or something. I don't remember what he did, but he did, like, something for me. So he was, like, cool, but he didn't warn me. He gave me a ticket anyway. So I was like, well, okay.
Yeah. Right.
All right, this next one. Nope.
What am I down to, 2?
I'm down to 3.
What am I down to? Then I must have 2. No, I have 2.
Yeah, I think you're only one ahead of me right now.
Yep.
Never have I ever gotten a tattoo. I don't have any secret tattoos. Do you have any secret tattoos?
I do not.
Yet. He's going to have a giant master sword down the spine of his back.
I mean, that would be really sick, but no.
Never have I ever used a fake ID. I have not. Never have I ever broken up with someone. Well, okay, we've both broken up with someone.
Yep.
Never have I ever got seriously hungover. Oh, I've been hungover.
Oh, I've been hungover plenty.
Oh, I've been pretty seriously hungover. I think that does that knock you out?
No, I'm at 1.
Oh, but you broke up with someone, right?
Oh, crap.
I was like, because I'm down to 1.
Yeah, you're right. I'm out.
Ah, you got knocked out.
Dang.
Those last 2.
This was fun.
I'll say we've both been in a couple of relationships, so we've definitely both broken up with people before. And then the never have I ever got seriously hungover. I know you and I had one particular night where I think we were both pretty hungover. so if at least that one, if not many afterwards. But
yes, many afterwards as well. We should definitely pick this back up. Keep this list saved, bookmark somewhere, and we can come back and do a rematch.
I will.
sometime.
Yeah, I will book. I don't know how to bookmark things for my phone, but I will bookmark this. We got through question 21, so there's still another 79 of Oprah's top 100 best never have I evers to go through.
Hashtag thank you, Oprah.
Thanks, Oprah.
Thanks, Oprah.
Yeah, that's that never have I ever. You owe me one generous haiku on Twitter that I will probably retweet.
I will do that around the time that this episode airs.
No, you won't. We'll both forget.
And then, nope, we won't forget. I won't. An elephant never forgets.
I don't think you're an elephant, Alex.
Well, maybe you'll find out if we do a never have I ever question on it.
Never have I ever been
never
an
have
elephant.
I ever been an elephant.
Shoot, I've been an elephant many times.
You got me.
I would make an elephant noise, but I don't know what. I don't. Elephant like doing the two
kind of thing. Yeah. much.
All right. Thank you all so much for listening to Profoundish. Check us out on all of the things. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. We're on Anchor. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at Profoundish Pod, as well as TikTok at Profoundish Pod. Check us out all there. Check out the things that Alex does.
Check out the things I do at alexduquette.net. It's a great hub to see everything I do. I'm a musician, so I make music. I also do medleys, which are and I do TV show theme song, nostalgic medleys. Those are fun. Check those out, little mashup songs. And I do a live stream show as well called The Jam and Chat. And basically what that is, it's an improv live stream music show. So you can tell me what to sing about on the fly, and I'll make it up as we go. It's a lot of fun.
And you can find the things that I do at my website, westonhasty.com. I do YouTube, mostly the gaming stuff at Magic Man Mo on YouTube. But I have some other things as well. Check out my website. Check out Magic Man Mo. Tweet me at Weston Hasty. I got nothing special to promote right now. To do those things, leave us comments. If you're listening to this on Spotify by chance, if we have a poll or something down there, go answer that. You could definitely go do that.
Yeah.
Leave us a like, a subscribe, a follow.
Yeah, 5 stars, do the thing. Talk to us. And if there's anything that kind of sticks out to you, feel free to shoot us a tweet or comment on YouTube or wherever, and we'd love to continue the conversation with you. So feel free to let us know what you're thinking.
In the meantime, once again, thank you all so much for listening. Until next time, bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. I'm going to go drink some more expired stuff.
Yep. Halfway kill yourself again.
Halfway there. Oh, my stomach's gonna die.